Hello, Dr. Lu. Good noon. And this is my weekly report since last 1 week. In this week, I will present two machine learning classification algorithm and one JSP file explanation. Firstly, let me go through the machine learning algorithm. After that, I will try to explain the JSP file. A decision tree is a flowchart-like structure in which each internal node represents a test on an attribute, whether a coin flip comes up heads or tails. Each branch represents the outcome of the test, and each leaf nodes represents a class level that the decision taken after computing all the attributes. The paths from root to leaf represent classification rules. Now let me illustrate the actual code base. In order to implement decision tree, I used J48 class in Weka. So initially, as you see, this is for reading the input file. So here is the input file, like the buffered reader, and the file not found exception, and the system error. Afterwards, this is for initialization, the J48 class. This is for training the model based on given input. When the model is trained, now it's time to test the dataset. However, we don't use other testing set. Instead, use the same input file. Now let me run the program. So after running the program, and here is the output 000000101010. Now let's jump to another machine learning classifier, naive Bayes. In machine learning, naive Bayes classifiers are a family of simple probabilistic classifiers based on applying Bayes' theorem with a strong naive independence assumptions between the features. Naive Bayes has been studied extensively since 1950. It was introduced under a different name into the text retrieval community in the early 1960s. Now, let me illustrate the actual code base. In order to implement naive Bayes, I used a popular naive Bayes multinomial class in Weka. Initially, as you see, this is for reading the input file. Here is the input file again. The file not found exception, and there is a error, file not found. Afterwards, this is for initialization the naive Bayes multinomial class, and this is for training the model based on the given input. When the model is trained, now it's time to test the dataset. However, we don't use other testing set. Instead, use the same input file. Now let me run the program. After running the program, the instance number 0 that is assigned to 0, instance number 1 is assigned to 0, instance number 2 is assigned to 0, instance number 3 is assigned to 1, instance number 4 is assigned to 1, and instance number 5 is assigned to 1. Oh yes, I missed one point. To classify for both naive Bayes and decision tree, we need to eliminate the class file from the training model. Otherwise, our training model will be biased. Okay, so now I will explain the register.jsp file. As you see, these functions are and the following functions are used to set up the user access for Webbench. As you see, the following line for CSS setup, the font family Verdana, Arial, Helvetia, sans serif, font size and color, and the table border border margin top, the message, font family, font size, font weight, color, etc. Now come to this JavaScript function validate form. In this form function, it first captures the username and password from the form. Afterwards, as you see, if the user email is null or password is empty, then it will return the initial step and force user to put valid username and password. The second step is also related to password. If it is empty or null, the alert prompt, please enter the confirm password to register. At the end, if the password is not matched from the database, the alert password doesn't match prompts up. These following lines for decoration purpose for banner. There is the for the decoration purpose. This line for going back to login page. This is for calling the register page. The register.jsp. These following lines for email, password, confirming password, and submitting the form. So that's all for this week. Thank you for watching the video.